It really is.
Does anybody want chocolate zucchini cake?
Put a thin slice of that Hatch green chili cheddar cheese on top of your pie.
Yeah. Cheese on pie?
People do that.
Yeah.
Have you done that, Dave?
I've never done it, but people put American cheese on pie.
I've seen American and cheddar on blueberry and apple. Oh yeah, make whatever you want, baby.
Look at that. An entire gourmet meal right in your freezer. Escargot, turtle soup, succulent Peking duck with all the fixins, and for dessert, yes, why not? Crêpe Suzette flambé.
And I'll top it off with proper Penguin premium Peruvian coffee in this hearty spoil-in-the-bag powder.
What you playing, man? What you hearing, man? What you rating, man? Vinyl owner. Vinyl boner. 2-hour drinking is on. Time to hear that song. Vinyl Countdown. Vinyl Countdown.
Well, let's settle up here. Now, what all did everybody listen to? We're podcasting on the Bowie mix, but making reference to the Iggy mix in case anybody heard some of that.
I listened to the Legacy. That's the Bowie mix, I think.
Yes.
It doesn't matter. I mean,
That's part of the cast.
Yeah,
you
that's
think
what
it
I'm
doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does matter.
The two I listened to were big difference.
I couldn't tell.
I listened to 3 versions. I was telling Dave and Chris this earlier, so I've got opinions on various versions.
I listened to the Yanni mix. It was a little more mellow.
Mr. Cameraman down here. Get your ass over here.
Iggy Pop is like the Grateful Dead. There's a lot of bootlegs out there. There's a lot of non-label albums.
I have the first two Stooges albums, and there's like 40 songs on them, and I don't know what's on the original album. I just know that I bought these 2 albums, and there's like 40 songs each.
Yeah, you got about 32 extra songs.
The whole concept of the Vinyl Countdown being listened to one album as released on vinyl, it just kind of blew that all up.
Well, what is that? What is that? What is it?
It did, didn't it?
No, not the beast! Not the beast!
All right. Well,
All right.
we're going to start casting. This is Dave B's pick. What's
Dave B! Ladies and gentlemen, Davey B!
Oh, I forgot to bring Don Knotts movie. What's your favorite Don Knotts film, Bill?
What was that, the Apple something gang or?
Apple Dumpling Gang.
So are we ready to go?
We are going.
False start. Offense.
This is how you start your cast.
Everyone but the center. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
This is how it's
Sputtering out of the gate.
Classic. False start. Everybody but the center.
Ladies and gentlemen, Davey B!
We are here to talk about Iggy Pop and the Stooges, Raw Power. This is an album that I listen to probably once a week at work.
Currently?
Yeah, currently. I put this on and listen to it.
Which mix?
Yeah, which mix are we talking?
The Legacy Edition.
The Legacy.
How do you know? What do you listen to?
Because it says the Legacy
Yeah, what's your
Edition.
platform?
My rock machine. It's
On
my
YouTube.
Zoom. It's my Zoom.
Oh, it's your Zoom.
It's my Zoom.
You have the actual MP3s.
I didn't really listen to a lot of Iggy Pop. Rolling Stone came out with one of those lists of top albums, and I figured that I probably should listen to it, so I went out and got it. At the time, I was listening to a lot of Peter Murphy, and everyone was like, oh, Peter Murphy sounds like Iggy Pop. I listened to Search and Destroy, and I'm like, this sounds nothing like Peter Murphy.
None of it sounds like Peter Murphy.
Gimme Danger.
Oh,
then I was like,
so
that
Dave,
sounds...
Save it for the cast. For your turn.
Yeah, so then I was like, that sounds exactly like Peter Murphy's.
So in the 90s, you listened to Raw Power.
Yeah.
What was your Iggy Pop experience before Raw Power?
I never even really listened to any Iggy Pop until Joan Jett put out Now I Want to Be Your Dog. Was not familiar with Iggy
Nothing
Pop
Candy? Nothing?
Iggy Pop wasn't really on my radar.
And so Raw Power was even your first Iggy Pop record.
Yeah. I never even heard Passenger or...
And what year was this?
92, 93, somewhere around there.
Indeed.
How am I supposed to cook an impressive dinner for 8 important friends in 20 minutes?
Let's hear what Bill has to say. I'm always...
Welcome back, Bill Hicks.
Welcome back. Your dreams were your ticket out.
Thank you for inviting me.
This is the Bill Hicks edition. Bill Hicks!
I was kind of surprised when Dave picked Raw Power. I knew it was an Iggy Pop and the Stooges album as soon as he said it. I knew that I'd listened to some of the Stooges in the late 80s. I didn't really know the album from beginning to end. I knew the songs that most of us know, like Seek and Destroy, which is it? Search and Destroy. Somehow I knew Drag Your Pretty Face to Hell. I knew that song. I knew Penetration. But I hadn't listened to them in years. It's been a really long time. It's probably been 15 years or more. The first version I listened to was the original. Around 73 or something like that. It was crap as far as the sound quality went, so I wasn't enjoying it at all. Open my eyes! Then you guys started talking about the Bowie mix. So I said, okay, I gotta look that up. And I started really enjoying it. I listened to it 3 or 4 times in a row because it's a quick album. It's 8 songs. Then I went ahead and found out that there was a 97 mix. Playing too much on the vocals, really dropped the bass and the drums. There's some that I like both versions. By both, I mean the 97 and the Bowie, because like I said, the original was almost unlistenable as the quality I was listening to. I can imagine a lot of debate about which are better, the Bowie mix versus the 97 mix.
I really don't think there's much debate. I think there's a strong consensus.
Yeah.
The one that you can hear is the one that people like.
Yeah.
The Bowie version is better overall, but there are certain songs that I think that the whole feel of the song is wrong for what the Stooges were.
I'll tell you something really cool.
But anyway, overall, I liked it. I liked it a lot more. It grew on me. But for 8 songs, it's a good album.
Break it down, Bill.
Break it down.
To go the distance.
Opens with Search and Destroy.
It's a great song.
Every commercial thinks so now, too. That song's in, like, every commercial.
I know it's like selling Microsoft or Apple products or whatever just because they love hearing the technology. It's a good song.
Give Me Danger is number 2.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Vinyl
Boner! Give Me Danger, I think, is one of the top 2 or 3 songs on the album, in my opinion.
What seals the deal for you on this album? What's your go-to song on the album?
Is it I Need Somebody, or what is the...
I Need Somebody.
Love that song. I think it's the best song on the album. It helped me out through the end of the album because 2 of the songs I don't like all that much. What's the Shake something or other?
Shake Appeal.
Shake Appeal, I don't care for. The last one's like, what, Death Ride or something?
Death Trip.
Sorry, I'm usually more prepared. I should have the track list in front of me.
This is unacceptable.
This is unacceptable!
I don't like 2 of them. The first 4 tracks are stronger than the last 4 tracks. I like the whole thing overall, and I don't think it really is a skippable album. Listening to it on a loop the way I did, I didn't get sick of it. Instead, it grew on me.
What's your boner count?
I give that about a 7.5. 7.5.
7.5.
EBs.
Is this a highlight of Iggy Pop's career? Did he do better in your eyes ever?
I only know 3 Stooges albums because I'm not a big Iggy Pop fan.
You're in the boat. Get ready to wear your rubber gloves.
You're soaking in it. In dishwashing liquid?
You're well on your way to the listening booth.
Makes loads of suds at last. And no kidding, Palmolive softens hands.
And a bad set of dishpan hands.
I better get these to Fort Knox.
I don't care about the West Virginia State Legislature.
See, Dizzy!
I'm your mother, and I have veto power over them.
Iggy Pop was never on my radar. I had known who he was because he's a character. I knew Davey B.
Who knew what he had in his headphones there as he sat in his cubicle?
That's right. But yeah, I mean, it was alright. I could listen to it on repeat. Like Bill said, it was not bad. If I listened to the words, I liked it less. It's just an ode to heroin, this album. Man, this guy really loves heroin. Search and Destroy I liked. I thought that was alright. Bits and pieces of that reminded me of the Stones and Sonic Youth. Give Me Danger I didn't like at all. I thought it was not good. Your Pretty Face is Going to Hell. I was like, what is the point of it? It just wore on me. I thought it was pretty awful. And is it about a hooker? I don't know what it's... I was trying to think, what is this song about?
Well, I don't know if I like this idea.
You're telling me it's about heroin.
That one I think
every song's about
probably heroin and a hooker.
I come to this cast to get educated.
Penetration
You know what that's about?
That's where I am. This dude really
It's not about heroin.
I think it is, though. Where's Madge when you need her?
More than mild.
Raw Power was okay-ish, I thought. I Need Somebody I liked. That was a good bluesy, too. Shake Appeal I thought was awful. And Death Trip was crap. There was a couple songs that were okay, but
listening booth
forgettable.
There's a lot of candidates for the listening booth.
This is blasphemy. I'm not gonna go like seek this out. It doesn't make me go, oh man, I want to listen to other Iggy Pop stuff.
Oh, I've chosen my words carefully, Persian.
So overall, I give it a 3. Final.
Woo! Listen.
3?
Maybe 4. I could.
Now
go
you know
as
this
high
is
as
in
4.
1973.
I compare it to music that I like.
From 73?
Yeah. It's
you can compare a couple of the songs to some really. I can picture Alice Cooper doing them.
I don't like him either.
Oh man,
that's one of the things I was going to touch on too. But no, my Alice Cooper take on this is like my thought was that if Alice Cooper was a meth head instead of an alcoholic, this is what Killers would have sounded like.
And Alice Cooper was an alcoholic. That wasn't the connection I saw. Now, I'm no big Doors fan. Play it, brother! But a couple of the songs, I thought, these are just like Doors songs without the Hammond organ. Play it, brother! Like that.
I thought
what is it
too.
that I need? Even he starts one of the songs off with like that yow, that either Raw Power or I Need Somebody. He doesn't have the baritone that Morrison does. He was trying to hit it some. He got it later as he got older.
I read somewhere that one of the biggest inspirations for this album was John Coltrane's "A Love Supreme," and I was like, "What?"
It's because John Coltrane liked heroin.
That's right.
We heard he did that album on heroin, so our inspiration.
Well, I don't know if I like this idea.
I didn't know Raw Power. I knew a lot of Iggy Pop, but I knew the other two Stooges albums. I never really listened to Raw Power.
Oh, Woodsy!
I have no regrets over not listening to it that much. Search and Destroy I heard and Gimme Danger because those were on greatest hits stuff that I got. Because even though Iggy Pop has like 800 records, I would still buy his greatest hits. But I knew I listened to Iggy Pop before Blah 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 came out. I had already known who Iggy Pop was and listened to it and liked him. I listened to this, and I know they did some kind of mistake was made when they recorded it, and that's why everything's so separate. And the lead guitar is just all by itself, and the lead vocals all by itself, and then the rest of the song is just bunched up, muddled in the background. And there's nothing you can do to fix that. So Iggy Pop's mix seemed to say, if I make it louder, maybe that'll make it better, and it didn't. Penetration is probably the best music, I thought, on the album. Search and Destroy are the best songs. But that Penetration, the music, you have to listen, and you listen to it several times in a row. At first, I didn't even like it, and then you listen to it more, and then you could hear the little tapping at the piano. And then there's one, is it Shake Appeal with the old 1960s
it sounds like
hand clap
sounds
vibe?
like T-Rex.
Not crazy about it. And it always makes me think, anytime I listen to Iggy Pop, is I think that he got signed to a record contract in 1967. And I'm always try to imagine, what did the record company see that they thought they were going to sell singles out of this? Because these aren't hit makers.
Number 11.
These are a bunch of heroin addict lunatics.
I know every once in a while, everybody wants a little bit of that hot, quick love. You want to quit.
And this probably, what? You have any idea if this sold?
I have no clue.
Number 11.
So, I mean, to break up, have to draw back together to do an album, and then break up again. And then, it's 4 years before he releases another album because he's so hooked on junk. Him and Bowie's living in Berlin, worshiping Hitler and all that stuff.
I mean, I don't think it's appropriate for someone your age.
Sound off, Bill. You're anti-Hitler, correct?
I believe I speak for everyone at the no way one sort of approval position of Hitler.
And you let that go to Washington, we're going down to Wheeling, West Virginia.
All right, so all in all, this album is garbage. But beautiful garbage because it let Iggy Pop still stick around. And the other two albums are way better than this. I think they let Iggy Pop somewhere near the control boards during this.
They did.
I think he pressed record, though, and they didn't keep the tracks separate. Yeah. I'm going to go with 6, just because it's Iggy Pop.
6. Iggy
Pop gets a 5 out of the gate. Well, let's hear Dave B's breakdown.
Davey B!
I like this album. I like it a lot. I think that if they knew what they were doing, they would have f***ed up. I think that the fact that they didn't know what they were doing, I think, enhances the album. I think they started off right with Search and Destroy. And like I said, Gimme Danger, it kind of has the same vibe as The Passenger. It kind of...
but is that what you want?
What do you mean?
You thought Gimme Danger sounds like The Passenger?
Yeah, it kind of has that same vibe as The Passenger, where he's kind of like
not as complete.
He's a creepy vampire strolling the streets of Germany or wherever it was. I think Your Pretty Face is Going to Hell's the best song on the record.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I like everything about it. I like that awful screechy guitar.
Do you like the length of the song? That's my... Not only do I not like it, but I think it's the longest song on the album.
I don't mind. I don't mind.
I couldn't take the end.
I don't mind the length.
I mean, couldn't it be just magic if you and I went out to the movies tonight?
I think Penetration's a great song. I think Raw Power starts off the second side, I think, right. And like I think we were talking earlier, Shake Appeal, I think it kind of sounds like a dirty meth T-Rex. Kind of, I could picture like Jeepster, kind of like sounding.
Where's T-Rex in 1973? Do they exist? Is he already dead?
I believe so. I think this album actually gives Bowie some cred, kind of with maybe like the punk, sound. I mean, like I said, I still listen to this album probably once a week. I don't know the difference between the two mixes, to be honest with you. I couldn't tell you.
Everybody except Dave does.
How can you not know?
I just came from a rummage sale, Madge.
I was wondering where you got these hands.
I give it an 8. I'm giving it
the
an 8.
three of us. Oh, I'd listen to Andy Taylor's solo album over Raw Power.
Wow.
And I'm saying that without John Boyd being here.
That's listening booth worthy.
JB will chime.
Didn't he? That we were.
He said he's on his way. Boyd doesn't know what he's dealing with.
I know, but
the boners.
Final boner.
You already did the boners? Some boners, not all boners.
Final boner.
Well, I'm going to be repeating material here.
That's fine.
No,
I'm going to be primed for Jack Wood's jabs in the ribs while we're.
Maybe.
This is me now.
Jonathan Boyd.
Don't make me take you to church, young man.
I probably heard it with Dave's song. I didn't own this record until the late 90s. I really don't know that I've ever listened to it from beginning to end until 5 years ago, like the last 5 years. This is the only Stooges record that I have. So this album, the Stooges had broke up, and basically Iggy called them to work on the record, which seems really weird for a band that just broke up, right? So there has to be a little bit of extra anger to the Stooges, maybe. Even though their stuff's always
he made the guitars play bass.
This person that's around you right now has been in jail before.
So I'm thinking like, okay, he had a band and they broke up, and then he calls them all back, and they have this record, and the album was called Iggy and Is this the only Iggy and the Stooges record, right?
Yep.
So when I listened to it this week, I'm not going to say it's fresh. I knew exactly what I was going to listen to, but I am not, unlike Dave, I haven't listened to it. It's been 4 or 5 years. It could be the greatest punk album of all time if someone would have put a producer in there to record it. Even just let them go crazy like they were, but if someone would have just mic'd the room differently and had tracks, who knows what Bowie would have done with it. It could have been one of the best albums of the 70s. I think that says how strong it is, really. I don't know another album that's mixed and produced so terribly, but I mean, it's horrible. What is this? And that's the Iggy Pop that I listened to. First thing this week when Dave tweeted it, I went to iTunes and it pulled the Iggy Pop one straight off. And I was sitting there going, this isn't the CD I have.
Yes, no, I checked my headphones.
Right? I thought my speaker, I checked my Bluetooth, shut it on and off, turned it back on, thought my little pill thing was broke. I went to my CD and I thought maybe I had like totally different versions live 1 year. No, it was the original one. And I listened to that and I'm like, okay. And then I listened to the Bowie one, and it's not that much better. I mean, the legacy of this.
I will teach as a shaman and help those who seek the knowledge.
Penetration song is pass. It's just at least maybe it's because of the iTunes version.
Listening booth.
I couldn't take penetration. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Dave. I couldn't handle the penetration.
We're gonna go there, and then afterwards we're gonna stay at Neil's brother's apartment down in West Virginia.
But the rest of the album, I really like. The Ramones get all the credit for punk and New York and all. And this album, Iggy could have owned that. They had producers in there with them. They had
Didn't
Phil
they call
Spector.
Iggy Pop the Godfather of punk?
Yeah,
I mean, they do. They throw it around,
Yeah.
but that's more. I think it's more for the live antics. They're better than what the generic punk that would start getting churned out is. They are writing real music, notes and everything. They're not just hitting the chords hard and fast. They're writing stuff, and he's writing what he thinks is beautiful poetry under the influence of heroin.
That's why Bowie got the gig, right? Because he had made a comment in an interview.
I thought because they stiffed each other on a bag of heroin or something.
Bowie had been doing interviews for those years, and he had mentioned that Iggy Pop was underrated as a lyricist.
Who asked you to go out of town? The stupid young one or the married one?
Well, let's go back to your vinyl boner count.
I got to say something about Fletch.
Oh, okay. Because this is incorporated into Raw Power.
Bring it on.
Well, Dave mentioned Fletch, now I have to get the story out. Up at Pittsburgh, there's in the downstairs of the mall, they have a Fletch thing that's as big as that wall, and it's a Fletch Lakers jersey, autographed by Chevy Chase with autographed pictures around it, like framed. It's like a grand. I'm telling you, I almost bought that, man.
You should get it, though.
I almost bought it. I love that. That's my favorite movie. I want to buy a Fletch jersey just to wear, but I never thought about getting Chevy Chase to autograph. I will give this an 8.5 BBs.
Whoa!
I'm a big fan.
The meter needs.
I mean, it has huge problems, but I just think I liked it.
How about this? We do a little Karnak action, and you tell us what our boner counts were.
Yes.
Based upon your knowledge of our sweet personalities.
Let me use the power of the tarot to show you the way.
Might be a new segment.
This might be. I'm gonna
call me now for your free reading.
Dave gave it the 8.
So you're correct. That's one correct.
But now Dave also picked the record. So if you pick a record and you don't give it at least a 7, then you're a dick for making everyone else listen to it.
Play it, brother.
You're a big Iggy fan, but you're a real Scrooge with your boners. That we know.
I am notoriously stingy with the boners.
I'm going to say you gave it, and let me guess you said somewhere in there. Only because it's not my favorite Stooges record, I'm giving this one a 6.
Again, I believe you have nailed it.
Mr. Wilson's on his way to giving it a 3.
You're 2 for 2.
I'll go to you next, Bill. You weren't like virgin ears to it. So that means Bill gave it a... I think you gave it a 6.5 or a 7.
With 7.5.
Ooh, okay.
Close. Fail. I'm gonna have to give you an F.
Trying to help you to avoid the heartache.
No, yeah, very good guesses.
Mm-hmm. You should get a job at Kennywood doing that fully guessing.
I can predict
and not a job masturbating on little girls on the roller coaster.
Don't leave anyone at home when you go to Kennywood, where there's never a dull moment.
All right, Bill, are you ready? Dave is going to make his great reveal.
So I'm going to send Jack.
Me?
You need to listen to more Iggy Pop.
I had a better frame of reference to know that this was not Iggy's best work.
Oh, here he goes, see? Gets all upset, you put him in the box.
Son of a bitch.
I don't think you should be second guessing.
Final countdown!
I like Raven. Bill is just taking it all in, like a sponge.
I'm pretty confident that Iggy Pop managed several times in his life to score heroin without money at all.
I've always said when Iggy Pop isn't on tour or in the recording studio, he's going to various universities for human anatomy study and medical schools. You can practice translucent at this point. You can see through him.
He looks like that guy.
A man does have to eat, and I don't think Iggy Pop has eaten since 1974, shortly after this album came out.
He looks like Anthony Kiedis' great-grandfather.
Don't miss The Rotor, the thrill sensation from England. You just have to see it or ride it to believe that there can be anything like
This is going to be a tough one to edit.
Why?
It just is.
They're all tough.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
The Police is up to like almost 800 listens on YouTube. I don't know about the other one, like SoundCloud and that, but 800, that's about 750 more than I ever expected.